What's up with it? We back again.
Yes, we are. What are we talking about today?
All right, today we're going to talk about the trauma of leaving Jehovah's Witnesses organization.
Yes, that's a good one.
It is, because we get some questions about it. You know, one of the main ones is witnesses who watch our stuff ain't supposed to be watching it. Well, why y'all still got to talk about it then?
Yes.
Why y'all so worried about us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spreading negativity and all these things, and even other people who have never been a witness or who are just like on the outside looking in, they say similar things.
They
like,
do their own thing.
Yeah, they do. They're like, well, why can't you guys just move on with your life?
Well, we're about to tell y'all why. Moving to the next point. Okay, so when you are in this organization, remember how we was always told the example of a fire, a building being on fire, and your family is inside this building, this home, and the building catch on fire, and you are in such a rush to knock on the door and get everybody out to safety.
Yes, which their safety is like helping to recruit to get them to everlasting life. That's their safety.
Yep.
To know the truth, okay?
Yeah. So I like that. Yeah, so think of how it was so urgent. It was that important to get people to safety,
Yes.
And you, even with other religions, these people may be Catholic, Baptist, Muslim, Hindu, whatever it is that they are, you're trying to rescue them out of this to safety.
Yeah.
Now, think of if you find out the truth is not the truth, are you just going to sit back and be like, oh, well, I'm going to just let them sit over there and waste their life?
Especially whenever you see that they are making decisions that are life-changing, that completely alter their life. So they don't do specific things because of the religion, or they do specific things due to the religion, like not associating with their worldly family members, or cutting off certain people that are close to them that have been disfellowshipped or something like that.
Yep.
So when you see people making decisions like that for something that isn't even true,
or something that's true today and then tomorrow is no longer the truth.
Yeah. So of course you're gonna want to talk about it, or some people will. And the thing is, there's a lot of people who leave the religion and don't talk about it anymore because
that's true.
They do just want to move on with their lives, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect them. And that's why people who do talk about it to spread the awareness about it are important. You know, because it's like you're talking for a whole group of people who have very similar feelings.
Right. And like you said, just because somebody moves on from something and doesn't talk about it, that mean it doesn't still affect them.
Exactly. That's the point right there.
Yeah, so when the thing, I always tell people that jump in these comments and try to, downplay apostate videos, look at the comments. It's only a couple of you people saying this bogus stuff, and there's a whole bunch of people in the comments that got similar stories or say, man, I appreciate you saying this. I'm going through this. So we are speaking for a group of people that feel a certain type of way, and they are unsure, is there something wrong with me? Because we all felt like that at one point when we question things, and we surrounded by people at the hall that got us feeling like we crazy for saying, hey, they just said this in this talk, that don't make sense. And everybody looking at you like,
how dare you say that?
Yeah, now you looking like the crazy person, like.
And nobody wants to look like the crazy person. And that's the thing. And so a lot of the thoughts that you do have, you end up keeping to yourself, because when you do express those thoughts, that's how you're looked at. You're looked at as crazy, or you're looked at as not spiritual, or like you have a bad influence around you and you're becoming bad association. That's how you get looked at, and that's how you get labeled when you have questions.
It made me think of my aunt when I woke up. The first thing, whenever you question this organization, where are you getting this from? Where did you hear that? What are you reading? Because you are not allowed to think anything outside of what you're being taught to think. So they automatically think, there's no way you came up with that question on your own.
Yes.
Somebody evil had to tell you to think
hate that. That is one of the biggest things that I hate about like a group thinking religion that is like that. It's so highly powered that way, because that's how they think about everything. Like, you can't have an original thought.
No.
If something is happening with you, or you're questioning something, or you start acting a certain way, it can't be because of you. It has to be because of some influence that has been around you that is making you think like that or making you do that. It's never you.
Plot twist, because that's how they operate. Everything that they talk about and think about is because the governing body told them. Even, you think, we'll tap more into this on another video. Have you ever seen, like, where somebody has a thought or idea and they say, well, let's ask one of the elders, brother, do you think it's okay, or is it acceptable if we do? They can't even think on their own this dude is crazy. They can't even think on their own just for something simple, like,
nothing.
Even out in field service, there's a dog on the front porch. Will we be in trouble?
Yes.
Do you think we'll be blood guilty for not going up there when there's a dog up there? Like, you can't even put two and two together. All right, there's a pit bull barking on the porch. Jehovah should forgive me for not going up there and laying the track down.
No.
That is a pathetic way of carrying themselves.
Yes, and it causes extreme thinking. Like, I think we've touched on this on previous videos, but like, the organization could say one thing and then they know their followers, okay? So they know that their followers are going to take it to the extreme, and that's what they do a lot of the times.
Yeah, every time. The trauma of leaving this organization, that's something when you are inside, because think of us before we all woke up and we were, Jehovah's Witnesses, this is the truth. Anybody that decided not to be a part of it, it was something wrong with them in our eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
It was always something wrong with that person. So whenever we see apostates, on the internet, our minds is, this is the truth. So if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. Why you got to talk about it? We all felt like that.
And it would even be to the point where, like, it's like, okay, well, obviously they're not happy if they're so fixated on what they used to have here.
Right.
That's the thoughts that you have whenever you're in it. But once you leave, it's like, no, that is not why people were speaking out. That's not why people were fixated on talking about it.
Yep.
It's literally to spread awareness, because you don't realize the mental health effects that it has on you, not just when you leave, but even while you're in the organization. Like, I think we've shared with a bunch of people who have left, but like, the effects that it has on you while you're in that organization, you are so hard on yourself, and it pushes you to like a point of depression a lot of times, And I think back and I'm like, I was a major people pleaser whenever I was in that religion, and I didn't realize that I was like that until I left. And I realized that a lot of the things that I was doing back then, it wasn't actually for the love of God. And that takes a big person to even admit that, because a lot of people will act like, no, I do this for God. It's no. Be aware of yourself. Like, that's not why you're doing it.
Everything is for the organization. Because it's you being extorted. If extortion works this way, you have to do this, and it usually involves money too. Do this and pay this, and if you don't do it, these are going to be the consequences for you, and it's not going to be good.
Yep.
That's how the organization works. So you are not going in service. You are brainwashing yourself. Oh, I love people, and I'm going out and serve. Please, when it was cold out, especially if you live where we lived at, it's too cold for service. It's too cold, friends.
We're going to cancel. The north.
We canceling field service.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Even when they canceled meetings, like on a Wednesday night or something, now they have Zoom. So you still kind of have to go to the meeting.
Yep.
But like back then, if they canceled a meeting, they just canceled the meeting. There was no Zoom to go on to or anything like that.
It was,
It was just a free night. And it was exciting to have that free night.
Right. You don't do that for something that you absolutely love and look forward to.
No.
That's not how it works. It's like, imagine you got a big wedding or birthday party. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to cancel your 20th birthday party, your 21st.
No.
Yes. No, that's not a thing, because that's something you enjoy and look forward to. So that's kind of, the whole idea with this stuff. You don't love it. You don't actually love going to field service. You're threatened that if you don't do it, this is going to happen to you.
Everybody, when they leave, one of the first things that they realize is, wow, I really enjoy the time that I have back to myself.
Even when I got this fellowship, it was sad. Like, dang, my family going to be disappointed.
It was a relief.
But it was like, Saturday, I ain't got to go to the field service. I get this Friday night, do what I want to do. I ain't got to, because it ruins your Friday nights as a Jehovah's Witness. You're not about to be up. You got a bedtime like you got to go to work in the morning.
I'm going gonna be honest, the only thing that was really exciting about like meetings or field service was dependent on who was there with you. So like whoever you were going out and service, like as younger people, we would make big field service groups, and it would be like all of our friends. And then it would be a fun day because half the day we would be goofing off and like going, we knew we would do something fun, like go to a restaurant or go to the movies after. Like we would do fun stuff. But the actual act of going and knocking on people's door and talking to strangers who were probably going to be mean to you, was that fun? No, it wasn't fun.
You just sparked the thought. The thought of, y'all about to relate to this. Knocking on the door and hoping don't nobody come to the door.
Oh, every time. I don't know if I'm prepared.
I hope them might come to the. You knock one time, just barely, just boom, boom, boom. They don't come. It's like depending on who you with. Like my granddad, he had stayed there for 10 minutes and knock. But then if you had the right person and they on the same page, all right, we knocked twice. Next,
oh well.
We out.
Have you ever been with like a super zealous sister or brother who would like peer into windows and like go around the corner, like by the gate? Like, I know there's somebody back there. I hear somebody in the backyard. They would be going around that house.
Like, man.
I'd be like, are you for real? Because I would be mad if me, like now that we have a home,
right?
If somebody was coming around to the backyard, I'd be like, excuse me.
Right. Are you that desperate to get me a part of your car? Like, leave me alone. That's why they be cussing us out and slamming the door and stuff like that.
Wouldn't you?
For real. I like your point on the people pleasing part because not just you, that was pretty much all of us. And it was part of the guilt thing. Remember, you got to widen out. And they would guilt you on like, don't just work out service with your favorite person. What about the person at the hall you haven't got to know? And that's not how life works. Like, it's nothing wrong with meeting new people, but sometimes along with meeting people in life, it's the ones you vibe with and the ones you don't. The ones you don't.
Like, what's wrong with that? I never understood what was wrong with that. Because they would, if you started working with like the same people, this is what I mean, like nothing is ever good enough. If you are working with the same person in service like all the time, like you have a little service partner, you could get talked to for that. Like you need to start working with other people. You're gonna make other people feel bad. It was always something like that. So they forced you not only to do all of this stuff, but they also forced you to, I don't know, just be out of any type of comfort zone that you have. So you cannot be with these people. You have to go work with this awkward person who doesn't even talk because of whatever they have going on. But that's not my business. Like, why do I have to go work with them?
We don't vibes, and there's nothing wrong with that. And even just with normal life, you got people you get along with, and then you got people you fell out with throughout your life that was not meant to be a part of your life for whatever reason. And it's the same. They try to paint this organization as good. Everybody's good people. This is your brother, this is your sister. No, you ain't my brother, you ain't my sister. We can be cordial. I can say hey to you at the meeting, but I don't need to invite you over my house when I invite 2 or 3 of my closest friends. You don't have to be there. There's other people that you can hang with, but they force you to be a people pleaser, and what happens is you just got a bunch of fake friendships.
A whole bunch of fake friendships. And that's something that is just so frustrating. And I remember even just being like younger and there was always different like groups of people. But me and my sister were pretty, like we could get along with like different types of people. So we had like multiple groups of friends. And I remember whenever we started like introducing people to each other, and it was just, sometimes it was just weird because it was like, okay, these people definitely don't vibe with these people.
That's facts.
And you could feel that awkward tension because you know how this group of people acts and you know how this group of people acts. You know what I mean? And true. Like mixing them together, sometimes it was just like.
And people are very judgmental. I just thought of a funny story aside from that. Before I get to it, it's certain friends, like, we might listen to rap, they got cussing in it. I don't want to hear edited rap music. That new J. Cole drop, I'm not trying to hear edited version. Like, that's corny.
And you could do that with that friend.
Yeah, like these friends, we could be riding the car and listen to this, but if we invite these people now, all of a sudden they are uncomfortable and they consider us bad association.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Makes it, I don't know, it just makes it so complicated.
Yeah, I wanted to save this for story time, but
we'll
just put this in there. All right, I can say his name, the homie Fest, because he's woke now. But back then, this dude, he was a study. So he had a rough background. He had started studying, and I think I was disfellowship at the time when I just got reinstated. And so we all get cool, and this dude was super zealous, overly. He was to the point, it was other witnesses, he'd be trying to tell them what to do. Like my one cousin, he was like, man, we at the door. He gonna tell me, now when we at the door, make sure. He like, fool, I came from Bethel, man. I've been doing this since the 80s, bro. You ain't nothing but a study. But so,
dang.
Yeah, like he had to kind of like, bro, you new to this. Don't try to tell me what to do. Right. He was studying with.
You new to this. I'm true to this.
Yeah, I'm true to this. So he's studying with the most spiritual elder at the hall, you know, him and his wife at the time. And he just was doing the most. So it came to where they're like, hey, let's kick it. My usual group of friends that we listen to cussing and we drink. Like they were, you know, spiritual witnesses, cool dudes. Yeah. Even if they woke up, we'd be kicking it.
Yeah.
But they cool people. We listen to rap, do the usual stuff, and we invite Fest. So we like, all right, so we kicking it with Fest at my house. We had 2 bottles of Hennessy, and one bottle only had this much left. The other one was a full bottle. This dude took it, dumped it into his cup, and it was like drips coming out like bloop, bloop, and he doing this, and we just looking like, dang, bro, like, I mean, it's another bottle, you ain't gotta,
take the whole thing.
Take the whole thing. So after a while, he get to talking, and he get to talk about his wife, and yeah, you know, my wife, I like when she wear the sundress in the show, and I wish I had a camera like my world homie, his face, like he's scrolling, looking for music videos, and his face was just like,
because y'all are just chilling, and then he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and like he just start doing the most, couldn't handle his liquor. And the one dude that was watching TV, he's a ministerial servant at the hall. He older than us. He like in his 30s. We like early 20s.
Okay.
So anyways, he just drunk and stumbling, couldn't handle his liquor. The next meeting, the homie ministerial servant, he texted me like, bro, let me holler at you outside. So we step outside. He was like, bro, why this fool gonna tell my mama on me? He's like, bro, I'm grown. He gonna tell my mama that we bad association and we listen to rap music and we was drinking and stuff. And he was like, you know what happened? He came home drunk, got in trouble, and he gonna try to throw us under the bus. And after that, we was like, bro, we ain't never hanging with this dude again.
Yeah.
And it just pissed us off because this is the culture of mingling with people you don't usually hang around in this organization.
But they make you like want to do, and not just that, but like everybody's on a different journey, even while you're in the organization. So I remember having a friend too that she had just gotten baptized and stuff, and she was like kind of in that. There's different eras that you go to whenever you're go through when you're a witness. Right. So she was in that like zealous era as well, you know, and that era is kind of really delicate, and everybody is telling you that it's really delicate because they say as soon as you get baptized, the devil is going to come for you. That's what they tell. Like that is a prophesied thing. Like because you showed your faith in Jehovah, so now the devil's really going to try to attack you. Is basically what they say. So everybody is like super heightened, you know, whenever when they just get baptized, and just not acting like themselves, and they view everything as like, this is the devil coming after me. It could be something so simple.
It is, but that's how they are. But shout out to Fest because we ran into him, was it last summer?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so he ended up leaving the hall after that. Like I forget what happened with that situation, but he eventually like bounced.
He like totally woke up.
He bounced. He woke up, and we ran into him when we went back to Ohio one time, and we walking at Riverscape, and we see each other, and it's like, and he got his beer, and we just get to laughing and talking about the organization and the whole thing. So it's like, it's cool that he never got baptized, but it's funny how he was super witnessy, and now he's like a spiritual woke person.
Yes, I'm telling you, you go through that stage, like whenever you're learning too.
Yeah, you got to.
They're pushing it on you, you know, especially when you're a study too, because you're trying to make steps to be baptized, and like depending on who you study with, they want you like picture perfect.
Oh yeah, he was studying with that elder.
Person. Yep. Yes, so they really create that people pleasing mentality in all of their followers, and they don't even recognize it as like people pleasing.
No, this feels regular. That point you had said you know, the devil is gonna try to get you after you get baptized. When you I'm gonna get you. But the devil, the whole idea of this devil is gonna try to make you do things against what you are trying to do is really like a reverse psychology, because the organization is working as this so-called devil is working, because you are naturally, as a human being, wanting to do normal things. You want to enjoy things that you like to enjoy.
Yeah.
You want to have the company that you vibe with. You want to have the hobbies you like.
Yeah.
But this is considered the devil.
Yeah.
They're saying this is the devil making you want to do this, and instead go this way. So they are trying to steer you away to do some stuff that's not normal. No,
right.
Jehovah is wanting you to isolate your family, so you need to go that way. And what's pulling you this way is not the devil. This is your nature saying, but I want to talk to my mom.
Yes.
No, that's the devil wanting you to talk to your mom.
Yes.
So you are constantly feeling like the devil keeps on pulling me. Whereas there's no devil doing this to you. This is you trying to be a normal human being. You being imperfect. You wanting to listen to your favorite music or watch your favorite type of movie. This now the devil that you can't watch.
And they're ridiculous standards that they're trying to push on you. Like, it is not normal to try to completely cut off your parents for no other reason than you being a human and making normal human mistakes.
Facts.
You know, like you have... There was that video back at the convention where it was... I just remember it because... somebody, who was it? JW Thoughts made a video about it, but the disfellowshipping video, and they used it in the Norway court recently.
Yeah, I started watching that video.
Did you start watching? Oh my gosh, it was so good. Shout out to JW Thoughts, love your channel. But anyway, I started watching that video and I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this video.
Yep.
And it was about like a girl getting disfellowshipped and the whole process of like her falling in love with this guy, this co-worker that she had. First of all, we've talked about the dating pool before, okay, in the organization. Like, some of the men are just weird. Some of the brothers... I was trying to be nice.
No, we're going to be real. We're going to be realistic on this.
But they are. They're just, like, weird. So, yeah, you have a normal guy who's doing normal things and actually, like, flirting with you as your coworker. Yeah, of course you're going to fall for that. But now your family completely cuts you off for doing like a normal human thing. Right.
When in reality, they want you to date this brother. My cousin, shout out to my cousin Kayla, because she was the first one in the family. We are like the only two really that left this organization and are like aware of what's going on. But she used to say, she was like, man, witness game is corny.
It is.
She was like, that's why we are more inclined to like the bad boys, or at least the ones that's in the organization that don't really follow the rules like that. Like those are the ones that typically get the girls, because some dude come up, so
hey,
what did you think about the meeting? Like don't nobody care about what we all pretend. Good job on the talk, brother. We was halfway listening.
Like, speak to my soul.
Like,
tell me something, like, please show me that you have some kind of personality. And the truth is, a lot of them don't. And then they don't show you that true personality until later. And then it's even weirder because they're like into corn and all this stuff that they've been suppressing. But yeah, it's just a whole bunch of people who have suppressed who they truly are at the core. So nobody's giving each other like their true selves.
No.
So it just feels very fake. It does not feel genuine.
Yeah.
And back to the point of like the devil trying to come and get you. No, you're going against your normal, natural nature.
Yeah, and somebody told you you're not. And
somebody told you that your normal, natural nature is just wrong.
Yeah, and everybody is not the same. You are literally taking millions of people and forcing them to be exactly the same.
Yes.
You all have to be like this.
Yes.
Everybody is not forgiving that quick, but you tell everybody, forgive everybody that quick no matter what they did.
Yeah.
You have to do this.
You have to be as forgiving as Jehovah. As forgiving as Jehovah, well, according to Jehovah, according to you guys, is obviously not that forgiving if they'll disfellowship me and I can never talk to my family again.
Right, and even if I come back, everybody's not going to treat me the same. Like the whole thing of trying to make everybody the same. All right, you have upbringing. You have your zodiac signs, if you understand astrology. You have, some people are introverts. Some people are extroverts.
I wanted to talk about that earlier too, the introverted thing, because if you are an introverted person and people are constantly forcing you to like go outside of that, it doesn't always feel good. And then like, boom, people show you why you should have been introverted to begin with.
Yeah, it's like, I'll never hang with y'all.
Yes, and then you start feeling like you're the wrong one and there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
But really, that was your
gut
your gut telling, it was your intuition telling you like, no, there's something up with this person. Like,
I don't want to be their friend.
Yeah.
And there's not wrong with, this is my friend and that's my friend and that's who I like to talk to when I hang with them. That's who I want to hang out with on the weekends, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's something I even struggle with because I never fit in with witnesses.
Yeah,
Even like
I remember you saying that.
It's the truth. Even in school, like it was witnesses I knew when I would go to the hall, but I'd say what up to them, but I'm kicking it with my homies at school.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to kick it with them, and I always felt bad because I would get invited to stuff,
Yeah.
and I was the pump fake king. I was known for not showing up to your invitation, to your get-togethers, to your house for dinner. I would not show up.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to. But if one of the homies that I grew up with or somebody from my neighborhood or school, bro, I'm pulling up like that because it just felt natural to be around these people. We are the same. I feel like I was only a witness at the hall or in service. But other than that, at the store, I'm not. Happy holidays, happy holidays. Ain't no. Actually, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we don't celebrate holidays. No, it wasn't none of that.
And that's why they have so many talks about living a double life, because you guys, the organization forces you to act a certain way whenever you're around a whole group of witnesses, okay?
Yep.
And that's not always who you are. I like R&B music. I love R&B music, okay? And I'm going to sing every single word. And I love the mainstream music that's just catchy and it gets in your head. But you're not allowed to play that song at this wedding. You're not allowed to play that song at your graduation party.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to listen to this song. You weren't even allowed to listen to music while you were in service, remember?
Oh, yeah,
riding
that was
around
a
in
no-go.
service. No.
Yup.
And so then whenever like the Kingdom melodies came out, like the kind of cool ones, like ones that sounded kind of R&B and stuff, that was a thing to like play out in service. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, you gotta pretend even before they actually start, because you know usually when they do stuff like this, because people was complaining.
Yes.
Those Kingdom melodies was the worst. Some of the worst music on the planet. It was just piano, boom, 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 boom.
The first
boom,
ones,
boom,
like
boom,
the first
boom,
ones were
boom.
terrible.
And it's just it wasn't no.
Yeah.
None of that. And
right.
you just had, everybody would pretend to just, we are Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, this is garbage, man. Why are we putting up this front like we like this music?
Man,
turn this
the
off.
truth,
Boo
you're
this man.
wrong.
Like, man, this is cat.
Okay, so I know we got off topic some of the points, but this is just how we feel, okay?
Yeah.
And I guess we can wrap it up with this, but the trauma of leaving an organization like this, like if your whole life has been in this organization, and this is how you were taught to do everything. They forced you to be this way. And you leave, you're at a point where you're like, not only just finding yourself again, but all of the people that you used to talk to don't talk to you anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, there's going to be trauma that still affects people even when they leave, you know? So, you have, like, for us, we have to spread awareness about it.
Got to.
You know, but you don't, other people leave and they don't spread awareness about it necessarily. You know, they just try to move on with their life. But like we said, it doesn't mean that it doesn't still affect them. Right.
And another reason we do these videos, it started off as just, let's make a video talking about it.
Let's tell our story.
Yeah, but it was never our intention to become a YouTube channel that talks about leaving this organization.
Yeah.
It was just, it's to the point we didn't know what was going on with the organization for the last few years because we didn't watch nothing. We didn't read nothing. We threw all our publications out once we woke up. So we were not up to date with nothing that was going on.
We threw everything out.
We threw everything out and moved on with our lives. And we had seen somebody do a video of why they left Jehovah's Witnesses. And we kept joking like, we should do a video like that. We should just tell it. And we told it and it got like 50,000 views. And a lot of people were like, thank you so much. This helped me. Please, can you make some more? Can you make something on this? So now it's like, well, dang, I didn't know that we were able to help people by talking about this. Let's do it because we got a lot to talk about. So now we keep up with some of the things going on because there are people still in it that were where we were at one point. Yeah. That was like, man, something ain't right. I'm depressed. I'm lost.
And we were there at one point, you know, but I feel like it's just been such a long time since we did feel that way. And it hasn't really been a long time. But to us, it feels like we have lived a whole other lifetime since we've been witnesses.
Right.
So going through that stage, it's almost like whenever you've healed a lot of it, you forget about how you felt back then.
Yup,
you know?
I like that point.
It's
That's
true.
facts.
You do. You forget. And having this YouTube page has really reminded us of like how it is whenever you're in the thick of it.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. And you do feel like you need somebody. And a lot of people who do make videos too, it can promote a lot of healing. Like people make videos to help their healing. You have to talk about things.
You
have to talk about it. Not everybody has to like it. Then it's not the video for you. But people have to talk about it and have to know that there's other people out there that feel the same way or have gone through similar experiences.
Yeah, and some people, like the witnesses watching this, your mind is not at the point today where you can comprehend this information. Just like 5-10 years ago, if somebody was saying this to me, my mind will automatically go, no, you just mad because you got in trouble and they kicked you out and now you bitter. And I felt like I'm right for saying that.
Yeah.
Until you get into that position.
You feel totally justified.
Yeah, you feel like you in the right. And then down the line, you realize we had to understand when we woke up, dang, so-and-so went crazy. All the young people, there were,
Gosh. I think about that all the time.
I think about that too. Just in our organization, in our Kingdom Hall, it was about 4 or 5 people my age that left back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And that's just in our hall. Then you had other young people we knew. It was at least probably 10 to 12 people that looked crazy. It was one whole family that was super spiritual and they bounced.
Yep.
And they were so-called apostates.
They look crazy.
They look crazy. And you don't get it until it's you. And now it's like, dang, I was wrong about them. My fault.
Yes. And then they always, like, when you're in it, they always try to bring up the worst examples ever of people who have left. They're like, oh, so-and-so left and got hooked on crack and now their life is just a mess and they lost their kids and blah, blah, blah. But they never bring out the people who, like, were majorly successful once they left. You know, they'll never bring those examples out. Yep. The examples they bring out are, like, the people who really went, you know, and just started messing everything up.
And I point that out with my family. It could be triggering with them, but all right, my grandmother did everything by the rules and she battled cancer for 12 years and lost her life.
Is that Jehovah or is that the devil?
Come on now.
Because according to you guys, it's the devil. But then if it's somebody who left, it's
which is
still
it?
The devil.
So I look at everybody in the organization that's sick, that's struggling, that's depressed. Why are you depressed? You got the truth. You got what the rest of the world don't have. Why do you got the same problems?
Yes, because we can speak from a point that of people who we have battled mental health, you know what I mean, in the past, and it's like a battle that you always kind of deal with. But I think we can say this 100%. Our mental health is way better outside of that organization than it ever was while we were in it.
Yep, because we always compare this to abusive relationship.
Yeah.
The organization is an abusive relationship. And you can look at somebody that is fresh out, still scars on them, get out of an abusive relationship, and they talk about it. Ain't nobody gonna go, well, why you talk about it? Why you telling everybody how that person was abusive? Why you don't just move on? No, that's not how it works, and it's the same thing with this organization. This is your whole, sometimes with people, it's your whole personality. You don't even know who you are in this thing.
Yes, especially when you're breaking out of it freshly.
So now it's like everything, your whole foundation been stripped away. Everything you've known as the truth is no longer truth. And now it's like, this is you in a nutshell. Like, who am I? What do I really like to do? I guess I can try to do things I think I like to do now because it's okay. Right. All right, well, let me try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to pick up this hobby. This is who you're becoming. And this is why it's so important to not just move on and say, oh well, it was nothing. No, it was something. It was you or what you thought you were. So now this is something you have to talk about and have to discover. It's not just a sweep under the rug like, all right, that wasn't the truth. All right, what's next? No, like you are having to build everything back from the bottom up.
Yep. And you just never know what kind of seeds you might be able to plant. Just like they used to tell you, like, you never know what type of seeds you can plant.
But those are fake seeds.
It's the same thing in reverse, okay?
Yep.
So I remember even like when we left, and this was before we even started making videos, but like, when I think back to my friends that like I vibe with that were in the organization that I felt like I could just be myself around, a lot of them have left now.
Yeah.
And that's what's funny about it. Whenever Diamond first left, shout out to Diamond. We're eventually going to do a video with her if she ever comes to visit us. But anyway, so when Diamond first left, her and one of our other friends were married. And I remember she reached out to me and she was like, hey, like, I know that you haven't been in it, whatever. And I just told her, I'm like, listen, I'm not a witness anymore, because it seemed like she was trying to hang out with me. And I was very plain and simple to like the witnesses that would still try to hang out with me. I'd just be like, listen, I don't mess with that anymore. And when I said that to her, she was like, yeah, I know. That's why I want to like hang out with you or whatever.
Yep.
And after we hung out, she was like, it's just so crazy because you're still the same person. I'm like, Yeah, you don't become like a whole new person. Your mentality feels different,
right.
you know, but like essentially you're still you know, like I'm still who I was whenever I was a witness. I'm just not indoctrinated anymore.
Yeah, you are you.
Yeah, so I can truly be like who I am, you
That's
know?
all it is. You were just like constricted the whole time.
Yeah.
And the only difference is this is all for you.
Yes,
you
and you feel more open. Like now I can make a genuine connection with you because I don't have this in between us to where I'm like, you know, beating around the bush to say things. I don't have to do that anymore. I can just be me. And if you don't like me, that's okay. Like there's other people out there for you to like.
Yeah, and it's that simple.
Yeah.
Yep, but that's important to really bring out with this whole thing. And you notice that when you wake up, certain people wake up and y'all get to just have a real, like you said, a real conversation. Like I'm like, I really like this type of movie, but I don't want to ask you anything about it because it might make you uncomfortable. Now it's like, bro, you see that new Dave Chappelle stand up? Yeah, man. What he said? Like you can just be yourself, you know? But this is pretty much why we do this type of content and why other people do this content and why don't y'all just move on. In a nutshell, y'all probably not gonna understand it today. Maybe not in this lifetime, who knows? But one day you'll understand why people make these videos. Yeah. It's not bitterness, it's spreading awareness. It's spreading other people that have been in this abusive type of relationship, how to get through it, because we've been through it.
There's just a need for it. That's it.
Yep, that's it. But shoot, man, hopefully we drop some gems on y'all. Shout out to even the disobedient witnesses that watch this stuff, because you never know, man.
Never know.
You never know. We never thought we'd be here, but look at us.
Sure did.
Apostates. Ooh, gonna get you.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on our new Instagram page, Awaken Truths IG.
And that's it. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.